Hello, beautiful souls, beautiful beings. Today is day 1 of my experiment. This message is meant to help those who are awakening, who are the chosen, who are the generational trauma and curse breakers, who are light workers, who are healers, who are survivors of narcissistic, dysfunctional, toxic family units. I come today, the day after my anniversary of my 6 years of being sober, as addictions are one of those areas that we need to definitely overcome within our healing. And I'm 6 years sober. My journey started 26 years ago when I realized I was a generational curse breaker / trauma breaker. I did not know what that meant at that time. I just knew that I had a path and I was meant to figure out what it was. 26 years ago, 26 years ago, I chose to figure out what this path meant. The thing that instigated it was finding out there was incest on one side of the family. Hence, realizing I needed to be the generational trauma breaker and ensure, at least in my lineage, that would not be moving forward. So far, I have been successful in that endeavor, as well as my brother. And that's about all I can say about that. But at least that is a good start within the lineage. So throughout the past 26 years, there have been a million obstacles into figuring out the healing process, mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, and there's been, like I say, a lot of obstacles that have gotten in the way, / spiritual attacks to try to stop me. One of which was within my own family unit. I grew up in a very, very extreme, toxic, dysfunctional, narcissistic family unit that included a mother and father that also include mental illness, undiagnosed in multiple levels, as well as multiple addictions that still exist for them. And learning how to change patterns and break free from those addictions, from those patterns, is the goal, is what we try to do as we heal and learn to awaken into our higher self, into our soul's purpose. My soul's purpose is to heal myself intuitively, which is my superhero power, intuitive healing. As I have done this healing journey all by myself. Not one person has helped me along my path except for my therapists, my trauma therapists, and my own intuitive self with my spirit team. Having faith and a connection with your spirit team is important in this process, because you have to be able to dig down deep through this process, because this process is not for the weak. It is not for everybody. Everybody is called, but not everybody can handle this, and nor will they understand it. They will call you the black sheep. There will be lies and false narratives put out about yourself, which is where I'll start today. So experiment. Day 1, I'm being called to put my story out to help others heal in the intuitive ways that I have. I have the ability to help others in the way I helped myself. only for those that resonate with this message. And let me repeat, only for those that resonate with this message. If this message has fallen into your feed, your YouTube feed, then it resonates with you. And I welcome you to the challenge with me. And I am so happy to see you, to welcome you into the community, into the family of awakened souls ascending into higher dimensions. I am so excited about this today because this is the day I've been waiting to introduce for myself. I have been on this journey all by myself, and to do it all by yourself really helps show you that anybody can do this. You have to really want this though, because there's going to be a lot of things that are going to get in that way to try to stop you. A lot of people, a lot of evil and low vibrational spirits, and one of which was my own mother and father, who my entire lifetime, I just found out, she has been creating false narratives, plural, to anybody that would listen to her about who and what I am. And at no point has any of it had any sort of truth to it. This is also a truth-seeking mission. I only speak the truth. The only person that's been lying her whole life to herself and his self were the karmics, the karmic family members, the ones that want to believe my mother's lies that she's been telling her whole life. It's rather pathetic, actually. But karma is working with her. And, you know, honestly, what had occurred 27 years ago up until now, and why it's taken so long for me to get to this point of finally having the courage and the strength to put my story out there, is because she was so good with her lies. She had me believing her lies about myself. Not that I believed them, but you'll hear stories. I'll end up telling stories throughout this journey and this experiment, because that's what we do. That's what this is about. It's about sharing our experiences and our stories so that we know we are not alone. And trust me, you are not alone. I am another person, another human being on this planet that is meant to be here to help you, support you, be there for you to listen, be there to guide you, be there to coach you. And one of the things that I wanted to start off by saying is that, like I mentioned numerous times so far, the reason that this journey for me took 27 years to finally culminate to where I'm at right now is because one step forward when I tried to heal in and around my family was 10 steps back. And that was while I was still using the tool of alcohol to numb out. Because I am a highly sensitive person, an empath, an intuitive. And I was told to never express my emotions. In fact, I actually got in trouble for it. I learned to survive by holding in my emotions due to the abusive nature in which my childhood was. I dealt with childhood trauma that I am still releasing. Extreme childhood trauma. And as an empathic, highly sensitive, intuitive person, it was infinitely more traumatic. So it takes a while to release that. All the verbal, mental, physical abuse, potentially sexual abuse. And I just want you to know that once you can go through those traumas and release it, it does get better. I spent the first 15 years of 27 years trying to heal around the family. And like I say, 1 step forward was 10 steps back. And now I know why. Because when you have a narcissistic mother and father narrating a false life for you to your relatives and your friends and anybody that'll listen, you get pulled down, you get pulled back, and you don't understand why at the time. It doesn't make sense. But I am telling you that I will have stories to help you understand that if it's happening to you, it's not you. You are beautiful, you are loved. They are projecting their insecurities, their shames, their guilts onto you. And I'm gonna help you see that this is okay. You just have to acknowledge it so that you can let it go. I intuitively somehow knew this. So about 10 years ago, I had to decide to start the healing journey finally without my family around. And that's a really hard decision, even when you have abusive, toxic family members. Sorry. We'll wait till this train goes by. Sorry. So I cried all the time when I had to make that decision. I had to literally pull myself away. And I didn't quite know why I was doing that. But, hi buddy. But I did it subconsciously. And my spirit team knew what they were doing when they separated and took me out and away from the family members, because nobody was making it better, because everybody was believing the karmic mother and father, because she is an undiagnosed narcissist with a mental illness, undiagnosed mental illness, and many addictions. And that's her issues. She keeps, her entire life tried to project these issues onto me. She tried to call me, she tried to tell my family members I was a thief. I am not that. I have never been that. In fact, I despise that. I think that's disgusting. And the fact that your own mother could try to put that kind of narrative out there about you is even more disgusting. The fact that she wanted to say that I was not a productive member of society and just going out and doing drugs all the time. That's not accurate. That is not accurate. I was always a functional, and if anything, the drug of choice was alcohol. And when I did involve drugs, it was to numb out. But I was always a functional alcoholic, like my mother and father are. Dad was. She just, again, didn't want to accept that in herself. So projected her own insecurities about her own addiction, knowing how bad it was for her onto me. I was way more productive member of society than she could have ever been. Her codependency onto my dad, she could have never made it on her own. I did everything all on my own. So, the point of which I'm trying to get at is there were all these unseen forces trying to hold me down. And once I finally broke free from the family, I could start to heal. However, then again, as life does, other obstacles were brought into my path. You know, this is where I met a con man, scammer, who stole about 6 years of my life, 3 trying to human traffic me and stole my whole life from under me and all my social media and everything like that. But then I took about 3 years to try to heal from that before I could start my childhood trauma healing. And then I finally could hop into that. So started that. And like I say, that brought me up to the recent now, 10 years, where I've had a full 6 years of just intensive trauma therapy, 2 times a week doing hardcore therapy, plus learning my modalities of breath work and sound therapy and animal healing, art therapy, and the list goes on, empathic and intuitive healing, working with other coaches and healers and energetic workers with Reiki and crystals, and like I say, frequencies and solfeggio and crystal bowls and tuning forks to heal. Along that path as well, I encountered mold sickness. Mold exposure is what it's called, mold and mycotoxin exposure. And for the past 2 years, have been battling to rebalance my body, but have done that as well. So I have overcome all these different facets of learning. Hold on one sec, I'm gonna pause.